have given the extra mile. We're going to start with our letter winners this year. Letter winners are students who have gone above and beyond the call of duty for the orchestra. It takes 40 varsity points to letter an orchestra. Simply showing up to all the concerts and getting A's will get a student 8 points per year, or a total of 36 points, which is shy of getting a letter. As you can see, a letter of a student to letter, a student must do a little extra for the orchestra to earn the letter. Things like auditioning for All-State or doing solo contests. Students who letter get a MHS letter. I feel like I'm saying the word letter a lot. With a little orchestra pin on it, and they will receive that in class next week. The following students have lettered an orchestra for the first time. If the students could please stand when I say your name, and if everybody could hold your applause until I read all the names. So lettering this year are Gabe Carlson, Amanda Doyle, Hannah Whitworth, Carlos Yaque, Ben Lussman, Elena Rominger, Elizabeth Smith, Bria Holte, Brandon Reed, Ryan Sinister, Yasmin Wooten, Tori Thompson, and then lettering as freshmen are Lauren Leddington and Mackenzie Lofgren. Please give our letter winners a big round of applause. After you've lettered an orchestra, you can continue to receive points and receive a bar to go with your letter. You must get an additional 40 points to get a bar, so these kids really are doing quite a bit. Double lettering this year are Madison Atkins, Bronson Brown, Nicole Garrido, Kelly Lang, and Alex Zichter. Give our double letter winners a round of applause. Triple lettering this year are Caleb Drawbaugh, Jack Eichelberger, and Lauren Kundal. I'm not done yet. I got another category. Quadruple lettering. Now, like I said, to do this, it's quite an achievement. So these kids, they're really doing a lot for this program. Quadruple lettering this year is Leticia Gomez, Brooke Steele, Jack Eichelberger, and Lauren Kundal. I like how I told Lauren and Jack, and they both shrugged, what, I can do that? I'm like, I'll take your letter back from you. I'm just kidding. One student quintuple lettered this year, meaning 5 times. Please give a big round of applause to Emily Fillmore. Thank you to all those students for their extended dedication to our program. On April 8th, we had many students who participated in the Iowa High School Music Association Solo and Ensemble Festival. At that festival, the students played for a judge and received written feedback on their performance. There are 5 ratings, 1 being the best, being superior, and 5 being the not so best. Nobody got 5, so that's good. I would like to recognize our students who received the Division II Excellent Rating. Please stand when I say your name. Elena Rominger, Alex Zichterman, Sarah Salt, Emma Beanblossom, Yasmin Wooten, Naomi Booth, and Ryan Sinister. Please give our Division II Excellent Rating. Now I'm going to recognize the Division I Superior Rating students. So this takes quite a lot of work to get this sort of rating at this contest. Superior rating soloists and ensemble members are Bronson Brown, Emily Fillmore, Leticia Gomez, Callie Lang, Lauren Leddington, Mackenzie Lofgren, Ryan Sinister, James Solt, Brooke Steele, Yasmin Wooten, And then there was a quartet of Fillmore, Gomez, Brown, and Steele, so they get another one. And then Callie Lang, Jerry Mungara, Elizabeth Smith, and Sadie Lockley. Please give our division a These next awards I award based on a series of categories that highlight various strengths I look for in our students. Throughout the school year, I observed and determined who best fits the following titles and awarded them as culmination of their efforts throughout this year. The assignment of these awards is never easy, but the students who earn them are undoubtedly deserving. So many students in this orchestra care and give so much, but these awards recognize those who truly set themselves apart this year and displayed an unusual amount of dedication, cooperation, and loyalty. These students exemplified the high standard of conduct that is the aim of our orchestra program. I hope the rest of the thing doesn't go this way. Here we go. All right. The Freshman of the Year Award recognizes a young member of our program who in their first year at MHS has been a leader, strong musician, and great representative of our orchestra program. In her first year at MHS, she has been a member of the MHS Symphony, Dorian on Orchestra Festival, received a Division I on her violin solo, and was a member of our orchestra leadership team, and has been a concertmaster of our freshman orchestra, all while taking lessons at the Purcell School of Music and performing with the Quad City Youth Symphony. And these are just her orchestra activities. She does like acting stuff, I believe, and choir and homework. Her skill is impressive for someone her age, and if her drive continues, she could very well become one of our very best. This year's Freshman of the Year goes to Mackenzie Lofgren. I should say, for these awards, you're going to come up. So, we'll do that. What's the next one? Oh, that's that one. Thanks, man. There we go. The Progress Award recognizes one student who throughout the year has made the biggest strides on their instrument. I ask all of our students to make progress, and while I recognize that all of our students have progressed this year, this person has made the furthest stride. Last year, he was a violinist who saw the light and realized that his biggest fault was that he was not a bass player. Through the second half of last year, he progressed and got better. But this year, he has taken command of the instrument and begun the climb into advanced repertoire. His drive and determination in music are very tough to manage. I'm excited to have him in our orchestras for the next 2 years. This year's Progress Award goes to Ethan Shearer. Attitude is so incredibly important in our ensembles. The attitude we have as we pick up our instruments dictates the success we have as we rehearse and is pivotal in the overall success of our ensembles. Good attitude drives progress, and progress leads to success. It's the students who can truly put aside their trials and woes for 45 minutes and commit to making great music that have been the heart of our orchestra. I can scarcely remember a time that this young lady ever has been outwardly negative. Her attitude has been a major positive force in our violin section for the last 4 years, and she can be smiling more often than not. I have always felt that she's been able to put her problems aside for our rehearsals and put the orchestra first, and I have always appreciated that. Our Best Attitude Award goes to Sarah Solt. Our Dedication Award is given to a student who has shown a high amount of care for the program this year, not just in their words, but in their actions. It's difficult enough to remember the orchestra lessons, finish pass-offs, complete semester projects, and remember to come to concerts, while also keeping up with all your other classwork. This student this year not only did all of that, but also auditioned for All-State, got Division I on his cello solo, performed a duet at the contest, arranged his own cello quartet, he wrote the music and everything, and got a 1 on it, by the way. He was a cellist in our pit orchestra and volunteered many, many times to assist directors and other students with whatever he could help with. I have been so impressed with his dedication to our program and have enjoyed seeing him improve musically through his dedication. This year's dedication award goes to Ryan Sinister. Our Leadership Award is given to a student who has all the qualities necessary to be an effective leader in their ensemble. A good leader is not only a hard worker, but has the enthusiasm to drive others around them to success. This violist is a consistent source of leadership. I've always been able to count on him to have his music well prepared and to be a consistent presence in our ensembles. He's gotten Division I's on his solos and ensembles while a member of our orchestra, a feat that is most impressive by the fact that he did it largely on his own. He has what it takes to succeed and is a fantastic role model in our orchestra. Leadership Award goes to Bronson Brown. Surprised I gave it to a violist. All right, sorry. Please don't leave yet. The MVP award, so I talked about varsity letters, and I always have an MVP award for the student who gets the most varsity letters this year. This year, we had one student score 63 varsity points. Keep in mind you need 40 to get a letter. This student was selected to the All-State Orchestra, got a Division I rating on her violin solo, was a member of the MHS Symphony, and represented MHS at the Dorian Honor Orchestra. She's also a Prusel graduate and a member of the Quad City Youth Symphony. This year's MVP is Leticia Gomez. These next 3 awards, these are our last 3 awards before we recognize our seniors. These next 3 awards focus on contributions a student has made over their years at MHS. Each of these students receive a special plaque and have their names engraved on another plaque that will be displayed in the orchestra room for many, many years. Schools are held and encouraged to only awarding these to 1 student per year. The Leonard Bernstein Musicianship Award recognizes the students whose musical skill is not simply proficient, but truly exemplary. The students who receive this award don't just play scales and tune or practice their concert music. They immerse themselves in the music and explore their instrument and all of its possibilities. This violinist has been a fantastic source of musicianship long before her time at MHS. Her work ethic has propelled her to a level that has gotten her multiple Division I solos and ensembles and a spot in the Iowa All-State Orchestra. She actually also spent a year playing viola. In that time, she mastered that instrument as well. She has never shied away from any musical task I've thrown at her and has dedicated countless hours not only to her own musical progress, but to the others in our program, including middle schoolers and 5th graders. She's off to a fantastic start in her musical life as she embarks on her journey to UNI, where she plans to become an orchestra teacher. The Leonard Bernstein Musicianship Award goes to Leticia Gomez. The Director's Award is designated to a student who is not only a good leader, The Director's Award is designated to a student who is not only a good leader, but to somebody who is also reliable, devoted, and enthusiastic about their orchestra program. This student has been one of our most enthusiastic. In her time at MHS, she has scored numerous Division I ratings on her solos and ensembles, been a section leader of both our chamber orchestra and our symphony orchestra, auditioned for All-State and represented MHS in so many honor orchestra festivals, and volunteered her time to help with tasks for our orchestra, as well as middle school and elementary. She's also the only student I have ever allowed on the podium. as she conducted a piece at our Pops concert this year. There are some days I get on the podium and perhaps I'm a little grumpy, but she'll often work out a way to light me up, usually with terrible puns. Her enthusiasm, along with her willingness to work hard, have made her one of the very best cellists we've graduated from our orchestra program. She will do fantastic at the University of Iowa next year, where she plans to become an orchestra teacher. This year's Director's Award goes to Brooke Steele. The final award is given to a student who really personifies all of the above: attitude, progress, leadership, dedication, and musicianship. All of these are a requirement to receive the highest award you can earn as a high school orchestra student, the National Orchestra Award. It's really hard to summarize this student in just a few short sentences, but as of this concert, she is our most decorated student this program has ever turned out. Her list of accomplishments includes multiple Division I's at solo ensemble contests, graduate of the Purcell School of Music, co-winner of the 2016 Muscatine Symphony Concerto Competition, named Outstanding Soloist of the Iowa High School Music Association Solo Festival, which is very rare. She did it twice. She was concertmaster of our chamber orchestra, member of our orchestra leadership team. She was concertmaster of the 2016 Dorian Honor Orchestra, and was the very first MHS orchestra student to make the All-State Orchestra for 4 years, something that only one other kid from MHS did from our band program. She's the very first for orchestra. She's consistently soloed with our orchestras and has a deep knowledge of string playing that's so rarely matched for someone her age. Her love for music is apparent and infectious. I'm not sure how many times she'd come to ask me a question, and it would turn into an in-depth conversation about one aspect of orchestral playing or another. What's more, she's a truly wonderful person and deeply passionate about music. I'm very proud to award the National Orchestra Award to Emily Fillmore. Blanchard. Where's Blanchard? There she is. While she's getting things set up here, seniors, we're going to recognize our seniors now, and when I read your name, please come grab a certificate from me, as well as a symphony bar, some good old chocolate, which is a tradition that my orchestra teacher gave me. I thought it was really corny, but okay, somebody's excited about chocolate, that's good. The people at Hy-Vee were like, did you go through a bit of makeup? No. And then Miss Blanchard, can I show the audience what you got? Usually I give a rose to our seniors, but Miss Blanchard took the extra time to make you her own rose out of old music. So she's made that specially for all of you seniors. All right, so seniors, as I call your name, please come up and get your certificate, your rose, and the chocolate that Albert is holding for you. Madison Atkins is the daughter of Bill and Tammy Rominger. Next year she will be majoring in nursing to become a pediatric nurse. Her favorite memory of orchestra was playing Happy Birthday for different members of the orchestra. Sam Botello is the daughter of David and Maria Botello. She will be attending MCC next year to study nursing. Her favorite memory of orchestra was when Thoma asked her for the serial number of her cello, and she just started listing off different brands of cereal. Brianna Bravo is the daughter of Eddie Bravo and Cindy Alcorta. She will be attending MCC to study nursing, then transfer to a university to get her bachelor's degree in science and nursing. Her favorite memory of orchestra is when she got the most improved player in 6th grade, and Blanchard told the entire orchestra how bad she was, and that her mom made her play outside at the top of the hill away from their house. Bronson Brown is the son of Russell and Stephanie Brown. He will be attending the University of Iowa to major in computer science. His favorite memory is when one morning Mr. Thoma was drinking his coffee before symphony sorry, there you go, bud. Was drinking his coffee about 7:10 in the morning. He took a drink of his nice hot coffee, and suddenly had a sneeze go on. What happened next is he sneezed and sprayed his hot coffee all over a deli. Everyone was shocked and died laughing, while Thoma only stood there and told her that she could go to the bathroom or something if she wanted to. Sorry. Andrea Cassidy is the daughter of Yvonne Banks. She will be attending the University of Iowa next year to major in Chinese and education. Her favorite memory of orchestra was when the entire orchestra performed Happy Birthday for Mr. Thoma. Trey Delano is the son of Karen and Stephen Delano. His favorite memory of orchestra was the time Ben and a few members of the Philharmonic Orchestra took Thoma's baton and started passing it back, and he freaked out. Amanda Doyle is the daughter of Tim and Beth Doyle. She will be attending the University of Mary, Bismarck, North Dakota. She'll major in athletic training and exercise science while minoring in coaching. Her favorite memory was during junior year when her and Caleb were sitting first stand of second violins. The day before contest, so Thoma got really nervous and started really getting into the piece. He got so into it that he lost control of his baton and accidentally threw it at me and Caleb. Thoma had to stop the whole ensemble because he was laughing so hard he started crying. Caleb Drawbaugh is the son of Paul and Tammy Drawbaugh. He will be attending the Bynum School of Music at Northwestern University, majoring in voice and opera. His favorite memory of orchestra is every Thoma Thursday post. Noah Fiedler is the son of Chris and Rosalie Fiedler. He will be attending MCC for 2 years, then Iowa State University to become a veterinarian. His favorite memories of orchestra are when Thoma would tell a joke and no one laughed. Emily Fillmore is the daughter of Brent and Yvonne Fillmore. She plans to attend Brigham Young University in Idaho to study violin performance with Fallon Hansen. Her favorite memory of orchestra was her sophomore year when the whole orchestra decided to stand up when Mr. Thoma said the word measure. His face was so scared and confused it was hilarious. Nicole Garrido is the daughter of Caesar and Monica Garrido. She will be attending either UNI or Iowa Central next year to play soccer and major in sports medicine. Her favorite memory of orchestra was when the composer of An American Waltz came and worked with the orchestra, in particular when he came over and worked with her on the piano part. Leticia Gomez is the daughter of Octavio and Marina Gomez. She will be attending the University of Northern Iowa next year to major in music education to become a high school orchestra teacher. Her favorite thing about orchestra has been creating the orchestra quote book for the past year and a half, containing gems such as, "That's called a melody, violas. Basses, I threw you a Hail Mary pass and you fumbled. And the ever so memorable, I ain't afraid of no po-po." All allegedly said by me. Say allegedly. C.J. Joseph is the son of Rohan and Annette Joseph. He will be majoring in human health and science. His favorite memory of orchestra was getting Division I's at large group contest. Colton Oldfield is the son of Chase and Deanne Oldfield. He will be attending Maranatha University to major in business. His favorite memory of orchestra was being a part of the very first MHS Symphony Orchestra. Christian Rea is the son of Amanda and Manuel Rea. Next year he plans to attend Scott Community College to get his associate's degree in applied sciences. His favorite memory from orchestra was playing Happy Birthday for Mr. Thoma. Ava Schmidt is the daughter of Rebecca Schmidt-Knoppik and Rin Knoppik. Ron, I'm sorry, that's a typo. She will be attending the University of Iowa next year, tossing herself into the adult world of responsibility and accumulate inane amounts of debt. Her favorite memory was when the orchestra played Happy Birthday for Mr. Thoma. Despite his protests, she loves the good humor of our orchestra. Sarah Solt is the daughter of Rob and Dana Solt. She will be attending the University of Northern Iowa next year to major in elementary education. Her favorite memory of orchestra was premiering an American Waltz at the Pops concert this year. Hitting the last long note with the orchestra and looking out as everyone's faces lit up. The best part is when everyone looked up at Thoma and he mouthed, "Thank you." It gets me every time. Adam Spiegel is the son of Jim Spiegel and Jennifer and Vince Brown. He will be attending Hope College next year to major in music education. His favorite memory of orchestra would be playing Fuga con Parejo. I did not mean to do that. Parejo. Then immediately following that memory is listening to Mr. Thoma try to pronounce the name of that piece. Brooke Steele is the daughter of Dan and Linda Steele. She will be attending the University of Iowa to major in music education. One of her favorite memories of orchestra was one day in orchestra when Thoma was working with another section. Nicole wasn't technically holding on to her cello, but she was trusting that it wouldn't fall. And it did, just perfectly at the angle to have the scroll hit her right in the head and knock her glasses off and send the glasses flying past the stand behind her. Hannah Whitworth is the daughter of John and Ada Whitworth. She will attend MCC and UNI to major in elementary education. Her favorite memory of orchestra was when the orchestra went to Los Angeles this past spring break. We had finished our day at Universal Studios. Thoma stood up on a step to talk to us about the plans for the evening. Callie Lang then stood up with him and presented him with the Best Couple Award, but it was for Mr. Thoma and Mr. Hyde. Carlos Yaque is the son of Ruth Linares and Luis Yaque. He will be attending the University of Iowa to major in biomedical engineering and continue to play cello in one of the university orchestras. His favorite memory of orchestra is being scared the first time in high school when he saw the giant orchestra class, but meeting his very first high school friend and having a great time. Ellie Zapata is the daughter of Kimberly and Francisco Zapata. Next year, she will attend the University of Northern Iowa to major in biology. Her favorite memory, or rather a consistent thing that happens, is when Thoma is conducting and his hair decides to dance around beautifully. There's also when Thoma's voice decides to go back to puberty. I feel like I'm attending my own roast. Lato Zarpa is the daughter of Amy Zarpa. She will be attending Spelman College and majoring in political science, and then attending law school. Her favorite memory of orchestra is the spring break trip to Los Angeles and working with Larry Livingston. Now, before we give them their big round of applause that they deserve, I just have a few thoughts about this group of young people. It's difficult to describe the emotions I felt in the weeks leading up to this final orchestra concert for the class of 2017. The mix of excitement, dread, melancholy, and nostalgia has had me tied up for words, and I know that I will not be able to do justice with words the experiences that we have shared these last 4 years. All I remember from your first day was the anxiousness written all over your faces. On the first day of high school, I surrounded you with upperclassmen, told you your first concert was in 1 week, and handed you Russian Sailor's Dance, a piece that could be described as a lot of ink. I do admit the fear in your eyes did make me chuckle a little bit, but we forged ahead and put together a pretty fantastic first concert for your time here at MHS. At the time, I didn't know any of you terribly well. You were just young faces that had a lot to prove, and I think you knew it. I remember your eyes going from the page of Russian Sailor's Dance to my face, almost as if you were saying, "You're joking, right?" When I just smiled back and counted us off, I think you realized that this was serious, and you'd have to either sink or swim. I recall at least several students dropping out that first week. I certainly was not intending to drive anyone away, but I knew, as I kept getting back on the podium after those first few days, that those of you that remained were there for the right reasons, and I knew I could count on all of you to work. And sure enough, work you did. The progress this class has made in the last 4 years has been a major source of pride for me. I can look at you now and see proven leaders, strong musicians, and most importantly, kind and intelligent people. You became not just faces to me anymore, unfamiliar and new. I then began to know the violinists whose life goal in high school has been to collect quotes, most likely for blackmail. The cellists whose puns were admittedly clever but awfully corny. Maybe I was just jealous that everyone would laugh at her jokes and not mine. The varsity athlete who was so ferocious on the court but made nervous by a tiny little 4-bar solo. The tenor, who although I always teased him that his status as a tenor, trumpet player, and violinist were probably going to set him up for an ego that could rival the size of a dirigible. But really, he's actually always looking to improve and is actually pretty down to earth. Our orchestra's own personal DJ, whose can-do attitude and optimistic spirit reminded me to look on the bright side even when things are tough. The prodigious violinist, whose love for music burns so brightly in her eyes, it's hard not to drop what I'm doing to talk about chapones and bow technique. And the soccer star, who can take a piece of brand new music written for piano and play it with a beauty and sensitivity that I've rarely seen in a high school performer. These are just a few of the many things I learned about you all, and although I can't take the time to individually recall in the speech something about every one of you, I can look out at you and see intelligence, skill, strength, kindness, good humor, and a love for everything that we did here. I admitted earlier this week to someone, or perhaps to one of the orchestras, that I went into teaching because I loved the music first. I admit now that I was here for the music. I thought that life would be pretty easy. I would program awesome music and just make the kids do it. As long as the music was an outlet for me, I would be satisfied. I realize now how ignorant I was. As I have progressed through my own professional life, I have realized that my eyes began to look away from the score and out at you all. I became interested in your own personal progressions and realized now that although I came to this profession for the music, I stayed here for you. Now, not all of you will keep playing, or at least not in the immediate future. Your college careers will take off, and you'll be whisked away into a world of academia, specifically catered to your passions and goals. And you may be asking yourself, then what was the point? Why did we worry about all these bowings and key signatures? What did it do for me? Well, believe it or not, there was so much more going on than just bowings and key signatures. Life skills that apply to everyday life were at work in our class. The social skills you picked up by working in sections made up of very different people. The emotional intelligence you developed by performing great heroic works but like St. Paul's Suite, or the tragic sensitivity of Schindler's List. Perhaps the most important thing that you learned, or at least I hope you learned, was the reward of hard work and the value of patience. I believe patience is one of the keys to a happy life. In a world that so values instant results and satisfaction, I hope you have all learned the reward of the long haul and understand that the best things in life truly are worth waiting for. No piece we've ever done sounded good on day one, especially Russian Sailor's Dance. But with patience and the drive to succeed, you took every piece to the top and should be incredibly proud of the program you leave behind tonight. I'm not sad, but incredibly happy for you all. You are ready. We will miss you, and we wish you all the best. Please give a round of applause to our 2017